Okay, I'm gonna do the daily review on ES today. Today was it's a weird day. But anyway, starting off with ES on the daily, we gapped up. We had a candle that gapped up over the weekend. And looks like we're getting to retest that 200-day moving average. I had put a little line right here. That was the neckline of this double top that we formed on the daily. And it also aligned with the 20-day moving average. So I don't know if we're going to get there or not. We almost got to the 200-day moving average on the daily. And we got over the 40 RSI, which is pretty good. It's not to say that we're going to reverse. We definitely have to have a closure over the 20 before I would even entertain the idea of us reversing. But as of now, it's just still wait and see as far as long term. That's the daily. Okay. For day trades on the hour, I did take one trade on ES today. Let's see. Okay, when we opened up on the hour, we were bullish. We have the 5 EMA over the 20 EMA. Let's see. Taking trades just on the hour. And see, I didn't do this today, but I'll get into that. Just should have been looking for, on the hour, just should have been looking for longs because we were definitely long. We got under the 5 EMA with this candle. Then we had a green candle above the 5 EMA. And then we could have waited for a retracement back, which we did get that. And then we could have went long. I didn't take that trade. I took a trade earlier in the day. But that was the 1 hour trade. If you were just trading the 1 hour, would have been a good trade. The only problem is you just don't know how high we're going to go. Let's see, 5 minute. Okay, let's see the trade I took. Okay, I took a trade this morning. The trade I took was, firstly, we just belted up. We just jetted up on the 5 minute. And I was waiting to see if we came back to around this area. And we almost did, but we didn't. The trade I took was, let's see. I waited until we actually had a closure under the 5 EMA and tried to wait for it to get closer to this so it could be like a flip zone. They call it a flip zone because it's an area that was once resistance and then it becomes support. So anyway, we had this red candle close under the 5 EMA, which represents a pullback. And then we had this candle that closed a wee bit really at the 5 EMA. So I got in somewhere around here and then I got some of the move up. I didn't get the whole move up. Maybe I got out here or something. I don't remember. But I did get something out of that. Not a lot. Maybe 3 points or something. And that was it for me as far as trades on ES because we had made a double top. After I got out of, took this trade, I realized we had made a double top. So if we make a double top, I need to wait until we go above this, break over the double top, and then come back and retest it before I take a trade. So we didn't do that. We came down. We didn't even make a higher high. We made a lower high. We came back down. We had our little, the 5 minute got bearish, but I was only supposed to take longs. So we only got bearish to the 50 EMA on this one. Then we got up, but we still didn't make a higher high. So at this point, I kind of just stopped watching because I'm just like, okay, it's typical for FOMC week to go sideways or trade in a tight range. The couple of days before FOMC. And then also, if you look on the hour, you can see the volume was very low today. These are the volume lines on how volume bars. And you can see on a typical day where the volume bars typically go versus today. We didn't have a whole lot of volume. So once I saw that, and I saw that we weren't making higher highs, weren't making lower lows really, or lower lows, but not coming back and making even lower, I just said, okay, we're just staying in this channel here. I'm just going to let the day go. And then when I come back, I saw this. We broke this and we just kept going. And if you look, there was not even really an entry. Because if I waited for that to break, I guess there's a little small candle right here that wicked. That could have got in there. I wasn't really watching anyway. But yeah, we broke this. We had a closing candle above that level where we double topped. And then we had a little small candle wick right at it before we went up. So that would have been my entry if I were watching. But I wasn't watching because I had just given up on the day and took my little that I had gained. And I also took a trade on gold. So as far as this was concerned, I wouldn't want to trade any of this because you can see the moving averages look like crap. They're just tight. They're not spread out. They just look bad. And then, yeah, I said I wasn't watching. But yeah, I'd want to wait until this. And we saw that trade. So anyway, at the end of the day, we kind of sold off a little bit. People probably taking profit or whatever. And I wasn't watching too much here either because I don't like to trade after 2. So that was ES today. We had low volume today in the market, so it's pretty tricky. Let's see. NQ, I didn't really watch NQ. It's probably pretty much the same. Let's see. Okay, NQ got stuck here. We didn't go closer to the 200 like we did with ES. This level, which, is a flip zone, either support or resistance, is an area of interest. We kind of got there. We got above it, but then we closed below it. So, but we gapped up and we're at the 40 RSI. As far as the hour goes, let's see. We're bullish, just like ES. NQ looked a little better on the 1 hour because we did have a nice closure under the 5 EMA, which is what I prefer to see. Because usually if we get a nice closure below the 5 EMA before we go up, we usually have it's a better pullback, and we usually go a little bit higher. But there really wasn't a good entry. The only on the hour, using the hour, because what I typically like to see is a close above the 5 and the pullback, unless we're going to go up higher from here. But I'd have to see us go up to at least half this red candle. But another way you can get in is just, this is a resistance level. If we pop over the resistance level on the 5 minute and come back down to it, you take that and then go up. But yeah, it looks like on the hour on NQ, we went above it. We retested the 200 because we went above the 200, I meant. And we went up. All right, the 5 minute. Let's see. All right, so we're only supposed to be taking longs. So we kind of looks like ES was a little bit stronger this morning. It looks like it had more of a double top when NQ had that second drive up, didn't quite get as high as the first one. Then we went down, we had the bearish cross, so I should have kept my hands still until we got this bullish cross on the 5 minute. And since we're so close to the 50, I like to see a close above the 50 if we're that close to the 50. We got to close above the 50. We retraced back down to the 5, and we have a bullish cross with the 5 over the 20. Came back down. Could have got in here. I probably wouldn't have wanted to take that if I were watching, because I would have wanted to wait at least until we got above here. Because this was resistance kind of like twice. So if we got above here, I might have wanted to take the pullback to the 5 here and try that. But like I said, I wasn't watching. At this point, I really wasn't watching anymore because we had did so much consolidation. But yeah, we got up and then we fell back down under this flip zone. All right, so that's in Q. Gold. I took a little trade scalp on gold today. Let's see. Go to the daily on gold. Okay. All right, gold didn't make a higher high today. We kind of stayed in the range of yesterday's candle. Let's see. Not yesterday, Friday. Let's see. All right, the hour chart. We're bullish, but we got flat over the off hours, but we got bullish, and we had we went back down to the 50. We tested the 50, and the trade to take was, for me, was when this green candle closed above the 5, and then we came back to the 5 EMA, and could have taken that long if I were just trading the hour. So basically today, we're just looking for longs on GC. All right, the trade I took. I didn't get all of the move because I wasn't certain. The trade I took, because when we first started off, we were bearish on the 5 minutes, so I needed to wait until the 5 minute looked bullish. And there were a couple of opportunities. I missed this opportunity. I think I was trading ES at the time, but the opportunity I missed is that we got above this resistance level, and after we got above that level, we wicked back into it, and I could have taken that long, but I missed it. So the trade I actually took, because I saw this was another level. So what I did was I drew a line here, and once I saw this green candle broke that level, and then we wicked back down into it, I got in here and took this long. I didn't get the whole move. I got out a little earlier than what I should have. I wasn't thinking good. I didn't look at the chart right. I thought, for some reason, I thought this was our highest high. I didn't realize we had a higher one up here, or down there. So I usually don't try to go for the whole, let's say, like if I'm getting in here, I usually don't set my target here because sometimes we don't get all the way there. So I'll usually set a little bit lower, just in case. And, I don't have the thing is, you don't have to always get the whole move. You don't have to get the top of the move or the bottom of the move. It's always good to wait for confirmation. And then the middle of the move, as long as you got a decent move and you think that you're in the middle of a decent move, you can just grab a little something out of the market and go head on with your day. Let's see. So that was a trade. That was a trade I took. So I took a trade. So that was GC. So I got 120 off of that one. And then the one that I took this morning on ES, I got 137. So I did okay. I did, I got $250 for the day. Let's see. So there's other longs that could have been taken. Like I said, I had stopped watching. So we came here. We had a close over the 5. We retraced back down. Could have got in somewhere here, somewhere in this area. And again, see, we didn't go all the way to the top. So that's why I don't go for all the way to the top usually. We got out about here. Then we came back down. And because we made a lower high with this, need to be careful. I don't usually just like to use this. That's a sign that we could be going bearish. So in order to get in, I need to see a break of structure. I need to know that we're going to get over this and that we're not going to make lower highs. So if I were trading this and watching, We see this. We got above and closed above. We wicked down, retraced, and then you could have got back in here, and that could have been a scalp. These are all scalps, of course. Let's see, crude, I did not look at today. All right. Oh yeah, I did just a little bit, but it didn't look tradable for me too much. We're still in this consolidation on the daily with crude. So let's look at the hour. Okay, we started the day off looking bullish, but then we kind of consolidated, went flat, and then towards the end of the day, we fanned out on the bearish end. Okay, now as far as taking a trade using the 1 hour, Jesus, we never really crossed. The only thing I can see is we just closed here on with this red candle under this, but then we have so much, looks like support right here. You probably want to wait until we close under here before you take anything. Let's look at the 5 minute. Looked like it'd been hard day to trade crude. Let's see. So we started off bullish. If you're just taking the 5 minute, there were trades. Let's see. We came down to the 200. Well, this red candle was the confirmation cross candle. And we're under the 5. And then you got back to the 5 and could have taken that to the 200. And let's see. We got back above it. We had this candle cross back down under the 5. So you could have gotten in back at the 5 or somewhere in between if you want to take the trade. And then we just kept going down. We were kind of stubborn about going under this 200. You have to watch that. Like if I had taken this, I'd have got out at the 200. I like to see a confirmation that we cross under the 200. Like, let's see. So if I would have probably drawn a line here, and once I saw a candle, we didn't really do it too well, but if you see a candle that closes under there, then, if we get back above it, come back down and take that. But yeah, you have to watch out for the 200. If I had got in here, I'd just put my take profit at the 200. And then we came back up over the 5. Then we finally closed under the 200 and under the 5. We kept going down, and then we had this wick up almost back up to the 200 before we fell. All right, at this point with crude, I would want to do nothing because really this would have been a B setup because the hour was still looking bullish. And right here, the hour just looks flat. So I wouldn't trade this. This is not something that I typically trade, that I like to trade, or that I find success trading. I don't. So crude would have been really a no trade day for me if I were following my rules. So that's it. The only thing I looked at also today was I did look at live cattle. I did miss the trade. I was watching, but then I missed the trade. I was watching, and then it started doing this. But first, let me go to the daily. We're just bullish, pretty much bullish on live cattle. Everything's nice and fanned out. We're bullish there. The hour is bullish, very, very bullish. The 5 EMA is far away from the 20, so it's pretty bullish. Definitely only want to look for longs. All right, so today I watched and I saw we opened up here. And I was just like, I don't want to take it here. It's too high. And I put an alert to let me know when it got to this level, when it reached this level. I got the alert, didn't pay any attention to it, just saw it. It's like, oh, that's right. I forgot I had this alert. And then I started doing something else. But it did hit here. And then when it hit here, if I were paying attention, this candle here looks like it was the confirmation candle with the 5 and the 20, and we had a close above the 5. We came back down to the 5 EMA, and that's when I could have got in for a scalp long. Again, we had a close under the 5 with this red candle. We had a close over the 5, and then we came back to the 5, and that was my entry to go long. But I had stopped watching. Once I took those 2 trades this morning, I think I was done like around before 9:30. So, and I was done. I went on the treadmill and had my walk and did some other stuff. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to look at live cattle a little bit more, because it gave some pretty decent opportunities. I just wasn't watching. That's it for today. All right. Bye-bye.